I mean, this is where it's at, right? And so I just want you to note her over here, a little bit dressed like her, but I'm going to share more about her with key number 7. So just hold on to this picture right here. And that is me. But, you know, there are different phases of ourselves. That smile on my face, I barely recognize who I've been. And now when I see myself, I almost have to say, pinch me, because I can't believe that I am here and as an empowered woman talking to amazing women and very smart men in the room. And when I think about keys, I think about opportunities. What about you? What do you think of when you think about keys? What comes up for you? Just shout it out. What comes out for you? A new house. A new house. Real estate. Real estate is in the house. Real estate. Hey, listen, we got to shout out who we are. Real estate and very snazzy dress. Totally snazzy. What else? Access. Key. Access. What else? New beginnings. Like, take that in. Keys. How many times do you take out your key to open the front door of your house, to get in your car? Keys are opportunities, right? And we're making choices all of the time. I always have to start with this because it's a grounding. And I truly believe as women, we do so much. We wear so many hats. These are my 2 grown sons. To the left is Corey, and now I'm a grandma. Thank you, Corey. And my other son, Daniel. And there they are. I got married 3 years ago. And I saw these doors in my friend's house outside here in Fort Lauderdale. And these doors, these old doors she had in her back. Like, she had all this like woods kind of in her back and these doors. And I was just fascinated with the doors. And what I wanted to do is when we decided on getting married, is to get married with those doors, to open those doors and to be outside in nature. We actually made keys. We made our wedding bands. We went to a silversmith, an artist, and we got there together with the little hot thing, and we did we made our own wedding bands, and we made our own necklaces, and we had keys, and we exchanged them to each other. The key to my heart, and here's the key to my heart, and we exchanged these keys. But there was something that happened to me. Even sharing this story right now, you know, when you share your story, it starts to awaken a vibration and energy inside, because we are the collective of our stories, of our past. And there was a key that changed my life. And it was when I first got divorced from Daniel and Corey's dad, and I got into a relationship right away, because my identity was to be with another person, was to be in a relationship, because I didn't want to be alone. So I got into a relationship right away, and I knew that there were red flags immediately right from the beginning, but I stayed in that relationship anyway. He fell in love with me, I fell in love with him, and I said, okay, that's it. That I looked the other way every time that he spoke disrespectful, every time he lectured, every time he got angry, every time he lost his temper, and every time that he locked me in the room and told me to think about what I did. If I spoke back, if I disrespected. And I did it. I did it. I sat in the room and I waited for him to come let me out. And by the way, I was a professional. Nobody would ever know because that was my deep, dark secret. I worked in the pharmaceutical industry for 30 years. I went to work every day. I was successful in my career. And I held this deep secret inside of me. Every time I went to work, it was like freedom. I had some space. I stayed in that relationship a long time. But the key, that one key that started to change my identity was when my therapist, and I went to my therapist, I went to therapy for 2 years, and I went every single week, and I paid her $200 cash, and I said, I can't leave. I can't leave. And she listened, and I explained all of the reasons why I couldn't leave. I paid her $200, and I waited till the following week to hear all the things that happened, and that I can't leave. Until one day she said to me, I've got an idea. You know, we are one idea away from the breakthrough in our lives. And the idea was, you can get in your car and leave. And I said, he'll take my keys. I won't be able to do that. I won't be able to leave. She said, make a hide-a-key. Hide a key. You remember that? Anybody do that? Hide a key in the tire? Hide a key in the tire. I hid a key in the tire. Now, just hiding the key in the tire made me very nervous because now I have a hide a key. I have a hide a key. I know he won't know. What if it falls? What if he sees it? I have a hide a key. But it started to change my identity that perhaps there was an escape route. But I needed time to percolate those thoughts in my brain. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to do it right away. I had to process it. Our identity consists of, well, I felt powerless here, completely powerless. But to unlock the power within, right, my past. This was a repeat of a trend of my past, of feeling powerless. In high school, I was not the mean girl. I was the scared girl that got beat up. I was the girl that sat in the back of the room, and because I was insecure and other people knew it, I got picked on. That was my past just repeating itself over and over again. But now I had the key, and I had the hide a key. And the very next time, not the very next time, so let's get it right. It was months later. So when he locked me in the bathroom, in the bedroom door, locked the bedroom, went in the other room, told me to think about what I did, I then was thinking, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm lying on the floor. I had laid on that kitchen floor too, on that bathroom floor too, every floor. I laid in that bathroom floor and I said, okay, I'm getting my courage muscle and I am going to do it. So when he came in, after a couple hours, then he had me come out and sit on the couch and to continue to think about it. By the way, I'm going to segue this story for 1 second before I go there on the couch. He once left me at a restaurant and told me to sit at the restaurant. When the food came, he said to the server, take her food. She doesn't get her meal. And then he left and he said, you're going to sit here. And you're going to sit, because I took too long coming back from the bathroom. And he thought he saw me or somebody looking at me and me looking at them. So he left. My dentist saw me sitting in that chair for 3 hours and said, let me drive you home. And I let the dentist drive me home, but I said, you have to drop me 2 blocks away, because if he knows that a man dropped me off, even though you are my dentist, it's not going to be good. So as I sat on the sofa, going from the bathroom, sitting on the sofa, sitting there and waiting, he goes in the back of the house. And now I'm close to the door. And now I'm thinking, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go. So I very quickly make it to the front door, get in my Ford Fusion, and I drive to my mom's condo, which is vacant 2 hours away. The whole time I am driving, I am shaking. He is calling and calling and calling and calling. I'm checking my rearview mirror. I'm scared that he's following me. He's going to figure out where I am. And I got there, and I spent 2 days there. And I did go back. I did finally go back. And this was a pattern. He would say he was sorry. He would give me flowers. He would say it wouldn't happen again. And it would happen again and again. Verbal and physical. This began to reshape my identity. Our identities don't change overnight. When we are transitioning, when we are redefining ourselves. When I left the pharmaceutical industry, I thought about it for 3 years before I got the courage up and the plan in place, a semi-plan. It was not much of a plan, but it was enough of a plan that I said, okay, I can leave. So we're always taking our past, and that is so ingrained in who we are. We are programmed and we are wired. Coming from the pharmaceutical industry, right? Stumbling upon neuroplasticity changed my life. It helped me step into my new role of leaving pharma and helping women step into their power to unleash their gifts, their genius, their bright light. FPNL still in the house. Their bright light, their brilliant light, turn their light on, right? And we get to create our futures. Like when I started to learn about this, that we could redefine who we are. We have plenty of time left. I resigned when I turned 50. 61 I'm 61 now, between 60 and 70, I believe. And actually, there's a study now that shows that you are the most productive in those years. How about that? Woohoo! Most productive in those years. We are always redefining ourselves. If we can think the thought, and then we can unlock courage, the key to courage. That hide a key became my key to courage. And every day, in every way, I now look for ways to get uncomfortable, knowing that when you are uncomfortable, when you speak your truth, even if your voice shakes, that you are growing into the next version of yourself, especially if your voice shakes. Especially if your voice shakes. Because we as women, for the most part, many of us have been taught and have modeled other women that haven't necessarily used their voice and been able to speak their truth. In your family, anybody else? Your family the same way. We are redefining for the future of generations to come what it's like to live authentic. Authentic living is now finally the new thing. Being totally Imperfectly perfect is now a thing. You've heard every speaker up here say, my notes and my thing and, my thing. And wait till you see my thing, because I'm doing a thing. So Lord knows what that thing is going to be like. That's going to be for key number 7. And yet, as we do that, as we allow that, we give permission for other women to do it too. And even because we are all connected as one humanity, and even for women that are not in this room, that live in another part of the world, when one woman taps into their courage, they are awakening the courage in another woman in another part of the world who can't hold one of these just yet, a microphone, right? We're virtual now. There's a whole new virtual world coming, this Web3 thing, right? There's a whole new world that is expanding. We learned this over the last couple years, that we can turn on Zoom, that we can get on video, that we can go live and speak our message on social media. But it takes courage to go live. Anybody here go live online? It's not easy, right? It's not easy. Anybody want to go live but hasn't done it just yet? Because what if, right? Thank you for bravely raising your hand for that, because it is not easy. Oh my goodness, because it's live. You can't take it back. You can't edit it and edit and edit and edit and edit. For anybody who does video, you're like, first take, second take, third take, fourth take, fifth take. Oh, no, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. We keep doing that because that's what we keep saying to ourselves. Courage allows us to do it anyway. And courage is a muscle. The more that we use it, the more it's going to develop inside of us. These 3 women, for me, represent power. Sarah Blakely. Anybody know Sarah Blakely? Where's Spanx? Yeah, Spanx. Thank you, Sarah Blakely. She became a billionaire at the age of 40. She is a fierce, fabulous, badass woman. Ellen Latham. Anybody know Ellen Latham? She's here in Fort Lauderdale. Orange Theory. Ellen Latham is a badass. I've known Ellen for, I don't even know how many years, 25 years. She was fired at the age of 40. I wrote my first book going to her spin class. I shared this story with somebody in here earlier. I went to her spin class, and I started to get these incredible downloads, these messages. And I had to take a pen and a notebook and start writing around this one question, what is your destiny? And all these answers started to come. So I sat on the spin bike and started writing a book. Literally, a book came out. And then we know Rosa Parks. When we're talking about, excuse me, that's my seat. We're all courageous leaders here in this room. So I invite you right now to look to the woman. Our eyes speak volumes. You ever go into the bathroom and give yourself a pep talk? Right? Come on, you got it. When you can do it. You can do, look at that. Yes. And give yourself a pep talk. Look into the eyes of a woman next to you. Anybody, just really quick. And shoot courage into them. Shoot courage into them. You're strong, powerful, courageous, and fearless. You're a badass. You're fabulous. Woohoo! You are all here because you have a mission in your heart. You have a message inside of you. The power of your voice to speak your future into existence. I finally left the guy. When did I leave him? The day after 9/11. Because I had thought most of my life, from the years of 0 to 45, well, come on, I don't really remember 0, right? But from the time I could remember, I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like taking my life. There's a lot of suicide in my family, my stepbrother, my uncle, my grandfather. I thought about those things. And when this happened, I thought, wow, they did not know, the people in the towers, they did not know that that was going to be their last day. I would have changed places with them, and I thought about that as I laid there. I would have changed places with them. So I waited. I was wide awake, and I waited for his eyes to open up, and when his eyes opened, I said, I am not afraid of you. And he saw in my eyes, like you saw in the woman next to you, courage. He saw courage in my eyes. And that allowed me to unleash something that was deep inside of me that I was not able to tap into until I cleared that big mess that was inside of me. And we're still clearing, right? The word mess is in the word message. And to be able to make an impact in the world, to be looking at the world instead of woe's me, woe's me, woe's me, woe's me, woe's me, to how can I make a difference in the world? I'll never forget the 2 trips that I made down to Haiti. I'll never forget holding the hands of these young girls. And the impact and zone of genius goes together. It's combined together. It's taking your brilliance. It's taking your gifts. It's taking your light. It's taking your mission and stepping forward to it in your power. That you ask, who can I help? What can I share? And how can I make a bigger difference in the world? Our tribe. I would be zippity zero without community. I have fallen in love with all of you guys from sitting in the back and hearing all of the speakers and the heart and soul of this event. Community, collaboration, connection, everything that I do. I'm working on another book right now, but it's a co-author community project. I founded a group of speakers and coaches from around the world of 20,000 speakers to help give a voice to mission-driven, legacy-driven women and smart men. Because my partner back there is Brendan back there. And so our tribe, as part of our vision, and that last key, that 7th key, is our relevant vision. Vision morphs and changes. And right now, what the world needs now is for us to activate our courageous vision. So what I'm going to ask everyone to do, do you have a cell phone? Let's give ourselves a little pep talk, shall we? So let's pull out our cell phones. How you feeling on a 1 to 10 right now? Do we have any 10s in the room? Woo-hoo! We got 10s in the room. This is the time to give yourself that powerful message. I am here to remind you to pull out your phone, and we're going to do this together. I'm going to slip off the stage for a second. And I am here to remind you that you make that video recording. Turn that. I'm going live, just me and me. This is your video for you.
Dear future me, I am here to remind you that I am proud of you. I see the vivid vision of who you are becoming. Always remember, you are enough. Good enough, smart enough, you do enough. Ain't that the truth? You are deserving, you are valuable, you are worthy of living a beautiful, blessed life. Good things are coming your way. You know that too. I see the greatness inside of you. I'm never, ever ever, 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 ever giving up on you. I profoundly, deeply, fully love you, Josie. And you guys too.
Okay, do I look a little different? How am I looking as a redhead? Oh, let's see. How am I strutting my new hair? How's that working? I know I got 2 minutes. I got to do this in 2 minutes. Okay. All right, I can be a redhead for 2 minutes. I get to be a redhead. And by the way, a bow tie girl. Woo! We are being called as women to step in to all the different identities of ourselves. I'll share about my red hair in just a moment. I have a gift for all of you, which is my book, What is Your Destiny? Discover Yours, and that is for everyone. And then all you have to do is text the word keys to that number right there. And as you do that, I want to share why I have the red hair on. And that picture that I told you to remember in the beginning. We are stepping into a new era. Back in the 80s was AOL. Remember the dial-up and AOL, the World Wide Web. Were you a little slow to the game with that? I was a little slow to the game with that. And then after that was social media. Were you a little slow to the game? Like there was MySpace, the kids. Then there was Facebook. Okay, maybe we got on and the kids got mad, right? Remember that? And then there was every other kind of social media, everything expanding out this way. Take a picture if you guys are still going with this so that you can grab that. I can go back. I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. I'm really not advocating for the Web 3, although it's here. I was the girl that was one of the first in the facsimile industry. When I got hired, I didn't even know what it was. This is here. There are 4% of the women that are in this. If this is the first time that you are hearing this, I come to you dressed like this today. Because if you just research it for 15 minutes a day, so that we are on the forefront of something that's new, that is probably coming. And that being said, it is a whole new world of women and possibility and connections and collaborations. And I'm just going to end with this. Imagine this. Imagine as an artist, if you keep getting paid. Could you imagine if Van Gogh got paid while he was still, while he was alive? And that is the era that we're stepping into, where creatives, diversity, collaboration, connection, and empowerment is going to lead the way. It's no longer going to just be a boys' club. And as women, we're not going to be left behind. So I share this just to say, this is a women, World of Women NFT that is a project just about women empowering women.
What are 3 tips that you can give to your listeners right now, what they can do immediately for themselves?
Well, I say connect with a community. Yes. Number 1, find your peeps, find your tribe, and love them hard. Number 2 is to think about that next version of yourself. Like, what is it that you want to create in your life? What area of your life? Health, your business, your relationship, and to think about that, and then to be an action taker, to take action every day, in particular, to build your courage muscle. So to do something that makes you feel uncomfortable, because that's the edge and that's where you grow.
Yeah, it was really amazing the way that you were able to take people through 7 keys of success during this event, and you told such a personal story about growth, and we all have them. And I think that sometimes we hide behind those stories and levels of shame. And you were able to unlock your key and move forward and tear down those doors, not just unlock them. And now here you are in front of so many, inspiring. This is an amazing year of 2022. What is your vision for 2022, and what are you working on?
Well, my vision for 2022 is all about empowerment and really tapping into the part of you that makes you feel more alive, which is always contribution and being of service and giving back, and really unleashing your mission, your why, your fuel. So I really see that. I really see that as a key component. And after the last couple years, like we're tired of being home alone and playing small, and we're ready to gear up and get out and connect with people and make a difference and serve.
It's incredible. You know, you're an accomplished author on your own, and yet here you are saying, let's do a collaborative. Let's bring 20 or so women in and do a co-authored collaborative book. Tell me a little bit about what came to you to be able to pull that community together.
Well, I will say this. I've written several books, and they've made a difference. I've been asked to be a keynote speaker. I've been asked to do events because of being an author. That becomes your calling card, and the importance of actually sharing your story and your message and using your voice for positivity in the world. And the reason why I wanted to do it as a collaboration, as a co-author community book, because it is so much more impactful when you do it together. Not only is it the accountability piece of writing together, but also marketing together, becoming bestseller status together. So it really builds up this momentum and this win-win attitude. So that has been very near and dear in my heart.
You know, it's really incredible because it's really about building another arm of your community. You are so based in community and giving other people the microphone and being able to say, come on in, the door is open, it's unlocked, come by whenever you want. It's within you, it's who you are. I love those speakers and coaches forum. We just had Brendan here on camera. Tell me a little bit about that and how people can collaborate with you there.
Well, first I want to share a little bit about the vision of the speakers and coaches. When I became a speaker, when I became a coach, when I became an author, I didn't know any speakers, I didn't know authors, I didn't know coaches, right? So that whole idea around surrounding yourself with the people that you want to be most like.
Yes.
And so building that community was really, really important. And the whole idea around the Speakers and Coaches Society is really all about voice. It's all about message. It is all about how can we be the change that we want to see in the world. So that's the premise, Speakers and Coaches.
When you are working to connect other authors together and they are within community together, do you feel like that community is going to then continue to grow? So maybe this is the first of a collective that you're putting together.
I got it. 1 + 1 equals 1,000. Like one person touches one person, and so on and so on. And that's how you touch 1,000 lives, 1,000,000 lives, 1,000,000,000 lives. And I do believe that this conversations continue to grow because right now we are called. We are feeling called and we want to do it. We need to do it. And that is the formula that works, is to do it together in community.
It's incredible. You know, we love being able to support things of the Better Business Bureau as well as what goes on here with nonprofit. Today's nonprofit was for PACE. PACE is really about inspiring women to keep moving forward even after facing diversity. What do you feel as though you can tell women who are facing diversity that they can continue to move their life forward?
Well, when you think about the note to your younger self as you age, like you think about what would I do differently, and it's hard, just in general, based on even in the most ideal situation, it's hard growing up, and today it's even harder. But what I would say is that you've got this. I would say you are worthy and you are deserving and you are valuable and you are loved, that you are infinitely loved. And when you feel that and you tap into your courage and you surround yourself with community and people that care about you, then the sky is the limit.
Well, you certainly set it off here today. What a wonderful way to really begin this whole speaker series, March 2022, and going forward. Thank you so much for your time today here on camera, for being able to really inspire a room full of women. Just being able to pick up your cell phone and talk to yourself into that cell phone, and giving yourself self-love and self-encouragement. It's what Wendi Weiss's label is all about. Thank you so much, Wendi, for stopping by here today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lisa. Truly an honor. Thank you.